This game is extremely punishing. You die very easily, and save points are few and far between, so there's a long run through tons of enemies just to get back to where you died. Uninstalled. I don't know, man. I do agree that you could die easily, but there's so many chances you get to heal, and you also have your tools and the expanded movement. Are you sure you're using all of the core gameplay mechanics? Also, you say that the save points are few and far between. There's literally benches everywhere. And the longest run back I had to do so far was for the last judge, and that was like 30 seconds. I've heard people complain about the run backs like this is the bed of chaos or something. I'm not even that good at video games. I'd consider myself average at best, and Silksong is not as hard as people are saying it is. And double damage sucks. Yes, it does. Your silk meter also charges really fast, and you can heal in mid-air. Beat the game purely due to my love for the first Hollow Knight. This game has some of the most frustrating design choices, be it stage design or enemies that the devs seem to think are fun difficulty. There were more frustrating moments than fun moments for me. Sorry, but I play games to have fun. Wait, what? 6.5 out of 10? There is no way this guy thinks Silksong is a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I am not gonna read all of this, but it's about difficulty again. Insert 80 rosaries to get a positive review. I feel like this is from a person that wasn't stocking up on rosary strings. I feel like every single negative review on Silksong comes down to its difficulty. Okay, check out this headline from Games Radar. I've played hundreds of hours of Souls-likes, and I think Hollow Knight Silksong is harder than Elden Ring. But what makes games difficult anyway? No fucking shot, dude. You think Silksong is harder than Elden Ring? Okay, so all games used to be hard by virtue of not really having endings. It's not like the sort of difficulty challenge you find in Hollow Knight Silksong is only a modern trend. Arcade games stretching back to the 80s were designed to balance the thrill of score chasing and munching quarters. No game was truly finished before a kill screen literally broke the code. Donkey Kong will be beaten but always rise. The centipede will keep descending. Pac-Man will forever be hounded by ghosts. Alright, blah 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 exposition. Let's get to the good stuff. Compared to his predecessor though, Hollow Knight Silksong is definitely harder. No shit. It's a sequel. It's supposed to be more challenging. Is this supposed to be easier? I don't understand what game journals want a sequel to be. Plenty of bosses feature lengthy and tricky runbacks to re-challenge each boss when you die, and a currency-hungry resource system means nabbing checkpoints, maps, or even refilling your tools to use in battle can force you to grind screens at a time, just to get back on neutral terms with boss fights. They can factor towards an unwelcoming hostility and get in the way of enjoying Silksong's best moments, which I grappled with in my Hollow Knight Silksong review. Again with these checkpoints, man, there's benches everywhere. You do not have to fight every single enemy again on your way back to the fight. Look, check this out. Here's the boss that I just fought. There's one specific sequence of hell and Silksong that'll stop many towards the end of Act 1. Each time you have to chain together multiple bounce jumps over health shredding hazards, evade strong aerial enemies that shoot projectiles that ricochet off walls, and also stay away from a couple of big hulking tanky dudes as well. I can clear it 90% of the time perfectly, and it takes about 30 seconds to do so. Yeah, that's the one that took me 30 seconds, so yeah, that's about right. But having to do it every time you want to retry a boss fight is brutal even for me. What do you mean even for you? Last time I checked, you game journals were saying you wanted accessibility options that let you skip boss fights altogether. I swear, you guys just want a game to play itself. This is why nobody trusts Access Media. I bet this person quit like right at this boss fight and just pushed out his review. Nothing in Elden Ring requires the amount of consistent dexterity every time you need to retry something. It had its fair share of tricky jumps as you explore, but rarely does it ask you to repeat them over and over again. Listen, look, check this out. I beat Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and I thought Elden Ring was considerably harder than that game, on a pure skill level. I know you can grind and clean up areas and build your way to success, but I'm talking on pure skill level, Elden Ring is hard as hell. Because the bosses, they're so sporadic and they have all these fake out attacks that are hard to read. Dude, in Silksong, you can easily read every single attack pattern. There were a few early game bosses that I beat on my first attempt because the attack patterns are just so simple. I'm not saying Silksong isn't hard, but people act like it's not even fair. Alright, I'm done reading this article. Then you have another article like this one from Polygon saying that the Game of the Year race might come down to difficulty. Okay, first off, why the hell are we even comparing Expedition 33 to Silksong? Seriously, this is just cringe to me. These games are nothing alike. And Clair Obscur, it even has an easy mode. I promise you that the only people that are talking like this are the people that want skippable boss fights. The same ones that want yellow paint splattered over everything. The same people that appreciate puzzle hints that give them the answer instantly, a la God of War. You know what my response is to all this discourse online about Silksong being too difficult? And it's gonna sound cliche, but this is it right here. You need to get good. Video games are not movies. It's an interactive medium. And the fact that Silksong only costs $20 and it plays like an actual video game? When other publishers are pushing out games that basically play themselves, trying to charge $70, $80 for what's basically a movie, if I want to turn my brain off and watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. But when I play video games, I want to play a damn game. I want to have some type of challenge. I'm a normal ass dude. My life is on normal difficulty. When I play games, they're on normal difficulty. When I get home from work, when I get home from work and I want to play a video game, I want to be awake and engaged. Otherwise, my old ass would be taking a nap or something. When I think of every single game I have nostalgia for, every single one of them, they had some type of challenge. Dark Souls, Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, even my favorite Nintendo games, they were challenging. And when we got stuck, we didn't know what to do, right? We would ask our friends for advice. Later on, we'd go online and look up guides. Yes, I don't think there's anything wrong with searching up Silksong boss fights and seeing what strategy they use to beat them. It's way better than just, putting the game down out of pure frustration. So do I think Silksong is too hard and would I recommend it? Well, judging by most of the negative reviews, I don't think Silksong is too hard. All the early game bosses that people are complaining about, the 2 mask hits, before you ring the bells, and fight the last judge, realistically, they shouldn't take you more than 10 tries if you're an average gamer like me. Like I said, a few of them, I had them on my first attempt. I'm forgetting his name, but that mechanical steampunk boss with the 4 arms. First try, it was not that hard. Easy to read patterns. The one white bug lady that does the flurry of sword attacks, extremely easy fight. There's one early game boss called Splinter or whatever the hell. That one did take me a few tries, I'm not gonna lie. But comparing it to Elden Ring? No fucking shot, dude. Lies of P, Bloodborne? There's no way in hell that Silksong is harder than those games. At least judging by the early game, I am prepared to eat my words, okay? I've only made it to Act 2. But it's just sad that there's some people that are gonna see these reviews and decide to skip Silksong altogether. Just because they're listening to the same guys who want skippable boss fights. If you activate all the benches and fast travel, stack up on rosary strings, and use your full arsenal, because Silksong gives you a lot more tools than Hollow Knight, you will have a pretty smooth time. If you want to play an actual difficult Metroidvania, go ahead and play Nine Souls. Now that game, that can be pure evil at times. But like I said, this is coming from someone who is average at best at video games. So far, I would put Silksong's starting difficulty difficulty at Hollow Knight's mid-game difficulty, and that's just me being generous. Keep in mind that Silksong started development as an expansion to Hollow Knight, so in my opinion, I think that people should be playing Hollow Knight first before they jump into Silksong. And stop getting hyped for, games just because they're popular when they release. It's not going anywhere. Hollow Knight is still a fantastic game, and that's where you should start if you really want to enjoy Silksong. But yeah, I just finished the new Shinobi game and started Silksong the other day. I've been playing it as blind as possible, so when I see a bunch of negative reviews about it being too difficult, like, that honestly shocked me, because I don't think it is so far. I just wanted to hop on and give my opinion. But that's it for me. I'll catch you in the next video. Later.